learned a lot from both of you today, you know, about the emergency housing and the vouchers and how they can get vouchers for hotels and stuff like that, because a lot of people are out there and they don't know this.
Right.
They don't know they can get that, so.
And one more thing about the hotel thing that I was wanting to just point out.
Mhm.
Like you said, the VS for that, it works great. But the
That's
issue that I feel that we
yeah.
have is that the people that are completing those forms, they're not being they're not doing it in an equitable manner. They're picking and choosing to even whether they're going to even enter you into the system. I know that was one of the reasons why I did not get access to a voucher. They refused to put me in the system, and I think that is a huge problem. They picking that they'll you know, there'll be criteria. Well, if you don't fit this description or if you don't fit this, then we can't enter you into that system. But if that system is the system to get the hotel vouchers, then you're kind of controlling who gets access.
Right.
And
so
it's not
remember
person-centered
right
at that point.
You remember they scored you at one thing, but you really had a higher score.
It was out the park.
So, but with nobody monitoring it, like they're able to do that, and so that's a form of gatekeeping.
Oh, okay.
You see, as
And
the
I know
caseworker?
when that happened, it was during the pandemic, and the person that was the manager, cause I went back and forth with them about, okay, I wanna see my forms now, and I know I have the right to see them. And so the gentleman was telling me, again, like I said, we were standing in a garage that's uninhabitable, right? And so they were upset with us because I couldn't cut my children's camera on for school. And so they said that that was a violation and basically truancy. I'm in a crisis. I'm homeless right now. I can't cut the camera on. If I'm telling you that should be point blank, period. But the gentleman told me, the management at the time, I don't know if he's still there or not, but he said, my wife works for truancy and she'll have a field day with you.
That's a threat.
I'm in a crisis, on top of a crisis, and you trying to create another crisis for me?
Crisis. So,
Like, this is really,
right.
like, true stories that have happened.
But
And
back to
it
the
just,
voucher, because I want to get an understanding. You have to be homeless to get it, right? Okay. Or in the
well, we
process.
Or at
don't even,
risk. Well,
yeah,
that's the
it's
thing.
supposed to be at risk, but we
okay.
don't know how to plug people into that because of the blocking and the gatekeeping of access.
Access.
Because we have plenty of stories right here where they need prevention services, but if we can't put you into the HMIS system or the coordinated entry system, never does your case start to even get plugged into services.
So a lot of
And you
people
have to
miss
be
out on-
literal on the street homeless before they want to put you in that system. And
then
I
they
don't see the
still-
point of the system if it's you can't put the prevention methods in there, then you're not getting every person. It's only really focused on encampments, to my
exactly.
opinion.
And some people are living in their vehicles. They're not at the encampment.
Yeah, I witnessed that too when we were homeless. My husband, everybody was still going to work. Every day we were working homeless, literally. And I think to the tune of, finally my family had started to make like $60,000 a year, but it didn't matter. We were still in poverty. So
You
it
have a
just,
large family.
yeah, a family of 7, it's still poverty. So you thinking you make it when you get over 50,000, but that's us working together combined, and you know, and
Yeah, times has changed, you know, if it was 50, 60,000 when I was growing up, you was
Right.
considered
rich, right, girl?
Yeah.
You
So-
think you done made it,
You think-
but no, it's like snatch you back to reality. And we was going to work, and we are always doing something for somebody, or being a caravan, picking up people. No matter what we doing that, like, and being really like parents in the community to any parentless child or hard cases, whatever. But what I witnessed, taking him to work so I could keep the car, we had this whole system, but he was picking up one of his friends from their car, and it was a parking lot full of people out there, a Walmart parking lot full of families. And to my knowledge, this is just my opinion, this might not be true, but this is what I noticed. Before the pandemic, Walmart started to close.
Right.
Did anybody else notice that? Because I used to go in Walmart and just go sit on the swing set and swing in the middle of the night. So they started to close at a certain point before the pandemic came through. That's when I noticed all the families staying there, and they would go in and wash up. That's their only mechanism of doing so at that point. Cause like the shower bus ain't out there. I don't know if they know those people are there. But it's a whole gang of families that was doing that, and you could see the frost on the windows from the heat running all night, or you're needing to have gas to make that happen, to try to stay warm even. And speaking of cars, and this is a couple I have been trying to let somebody know about for the longest, but over it's off of Murfreesboro. It's a little elderly couple. I don't know if they want to be moved or not. I hadn't stopped and asked those people that, but I did notice they lived on the car wash lot, and then they got moved over a couple spaces once the car lot got fenced up or whatever. And I'm like, why did they just get moved over a couple spaces instead of, I don't know. I can't say that because I don't know if they want help or not. Because some instances people don't want the help, but I don't know.
And then you got some that really do. Because with the church, we go and feed the homeless out of our own pocket, which is fine with me. Yeah. But we feed them, and then all of a sudden, they run them out of the park or wherever they were. So we weren't able to continue to feed them because they made them move. You know, so.
I was on a national video about that, Ms. Charzetta, where they talked about how the governor criminalized homelessness here, and I don't know if it's enforceable, like a criminal act for us to feed them like it is in some places. I've heard of other states that have, got after the people feeding them, or, because they feel like it's perpetuating a cycle, I think. But I remember being a part of that video where it kind of brought home how it was kind of like a video that was a simulation, a poverty simulation, where it was speaking about how you don't know how it feels unless you've been in the shoes of a person that, has lived that experience. So that's a certain empathy that goes along with that. But I know I do want to do the call to action, which we've already talked about some of these things. But the first thing I have down is all council jurisdiction connection. Like just us being able to get with the different council people throughout each jurisdiction to be able to let them know what's going on with the constituents. Unblock access point to them. Just like I said, what we did with the one council person thus far. More of these town halls that create healing access to housing. So this is the first of many. This one was an emergent one. Like we said, we had so many people reaching out to us, and even so to the point of like 211 asking about the directory, which I'm going to plug us in the right way with that. But I know, April, you're already there as a mediator in the 211 system, which is huge, and congratulations on that. And also, we are partnering for research and implementing full scope solutions, just like the article said, with lived experience leading the way, and open, appropriated access holistically, housing humans across the board. So that is taking what we find in our research in collaboration with different entities that we are collaborating with, and we want to show the picture, the full scope of what's happening, and give the true data is what I would call it, because we got data out there, but it doesn't mean it's reaching the people that are on the ground. It's just a certain data set, and then it becomes a divide at that lived experience, and I feel like that particular data is misnomer, or it's missing data that needs to be plugged into the larger body of data, right? So we want to learn from the tech and professional side as well.
That's right.
We want to create good relationships with them. We want to create good relationships with landlords. That's the mediation piece. That's the accountability piece. That's the oversight. We want to praise people that are, accepting and helping us along the way, and thank them, because again, we want to create good relationships and healing and housing. And I feel like this is the way to heal a festering wound that is the crisis of housing. So I I just don't see any other way than unity and togetherness.
Yes, and to live in an apartment is so expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like you're working, but you're
Yeah.
becoming homeless because your rent is so high that you can't afford it.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of people.
True affordability.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. That and being able to plug into safe areas, like we speak about that too, because there is a component in the housing agency that you can move into areas like that. But again, being able to access and connect to that, and be able to be in better places, we should be able to access our whole city as tenants, as stakeholders. Because
Right.
again, like some of us are coming back and working at a deficit while homeless, and I feel like we should be able to plug into the HERO program better. And I feel like she should have more help because she's overcapacitated with all the families. I've been a HERO family 3 times, so she know me by heart. Miss Knowles over there. I'm like, it's me again. We signed back up. She's like, come on. So I have an empathy for that provider, and I see how overcapacitated she is, and that's where we as the CAB, we do that work to help where it's overcapacitation,
Right.
or we come in and do the work that we know is not connecting the dots already.
Right.
So
And you all are doing you're the voice for people. I mean, right there is just a blessing. We thank you all for tuning in. We want you to continue, because I know the 2 of these ladies will be back again, no doubt about it.
yes, ma'am.
Because this is not the first, and it won't be the last, because they have done this before on I Have a Testimony. So it's new to some, but old to others. But these 2 ladies have been in this for years, and they have not even given up.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's the key. Don't give up. Hold on, hang in there, Don't you give up. This is I Have a Testimony. I am the producer, executive producer of I Have a Testimony. Kaneeth is one of the co-hosts, and she's a host. She has carried this show by herself so many times. It was the mayor that you had on, wasn't it? Did you have the mayor on one time? A representative from the mayor's office?
I don't know, Miss Charles. I'm gonna go back in the archives.
It's been some years, because I think it's been what?
It's been over 5 years.
5 years we have done
Yes.
this show. I Have a Testimony. I want to say
That's deep in the
that,
archives when
that
she
the
talking
mayor
about
was going to come,
that,
but
and
something happened.
that, and we did what is the contributor? We
Yes.
had Mr. Tom. Every time I see him, I harass him.
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, Mr. Tom, we had you on the show. He's like, I remember.
Yeah, he remembers.
He had his mask on. He had a cool mask.
He
I wanted
did.
a
He
mask like he
did.
had.
We was able to attend the breakfast that he
Yes.
had. It was
I
just
love
so
that
overwhelming
breakfast.
to hear what the homeless people were going through.
Mhm.
This is nothing new to us. This has been going on for a while, and we have to hang in here. And I have a testimony, be a voice to those that can hear, because something was said today that I didn't even
Yes.
know. So I know it's something was said that you didn't know. So we do want you to tune in with us again. Thank you for watching I Have a Testimony. Until the next time, we'll let you know when we're going to be. Today was emergency housing and bringing the testimony of the people. That's what a testimony is for, to help somebody else out. So until next time, we want you to be blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Glad to have you, April. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
Just glad to have you.